Number 4, page 6, line 21, strike merit from the first issue there. So we avoid that issue of merit pay. So we just eliminated the word merit there. Number 5, page 7, line 1, before the semicolon, insert, as determined by the public school staff and the school advisory council to encourage whole school reform. And that is to encourage the entire school and their advisory council to come together and what's good for the entire school. And that brings a dynamic to this particular issue that I think is very, very positive. And then, Madam Chair, the last issue in Section 8 is servability, which means that if any part of this may be ruled unconstitutional, that does not affect the rest of the bill. So we've added that. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you for that explanation. Welcome. Did you have any comment on the amendment?
Madam Chair, members of the committee, no, other than I think we had a great meeting with superintendents. They're excited and on board.
Okay, good. Anyone in the audience that cares to comment on this amendment? Yes, sir. Stan?
I'm Chair Stan Around Superintendent Electricians. We appreciate this amendment. It clarifies a number of issues we had concerns about. And I'm sure that the Secretary came at a very valuable 3-hour meeting yesterday with the superintendents, and we appreciate that time. The use of that counsel to advise the Secretary is a very important component as we try to move through some of these issues. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Tom?
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Tom Sullivan with the Superintendent's Association. It was a very productive meeting. We had about 15 folks present and several others on the phone, and we appreciate her responsiveness.
Thank you. Joe?
Madam Chair, members of the committee, we support the amendment, but we'd also ask that maybe school boards be at the table as well or be represented to obtain input.
That's a good suggestion. Anyone else on the amendment? Chair?
Madam Chair, members of the committee, my name is Terry Cole. I'm President and CEO for the Greater Albuquerque Chamber of Commerce. It is very important to us that this bill continues to keep moving, and it looks like there's good support here. The stakeholders have come to the table, and it doesn't sound to me, though I haven't seen the amendment, Madam Chair, members of the committee, I've just heard it this morning. It sounds like it's going to keep the bill moving without hurting the bill and still driving the resources to quality teachers and students. So we support the amendment.
Thank you. Questions on this amendment from committee members? Senator Sanchez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I guess, Senator, I didn't realize, Madam Secretary, that there was a superintendent's council. I know there's the association, right? But what is the council?
Madam Chair, Secretary Garcia established the Superintendent's Advisory Council several years ago. And has been meeting on a regular basis with them two or three times a year to receive input from the school district. I have, whether she takes it or not, I've advised our new secretary to possibly meet on a monthly basis until things kind of smooth out and we get things established and so forth. And I think this was a good faith effort yesterday in meeting with school personnel to get the input on not only this issue but many of the issues that are going to be faced with the ED.
And then, Madam Chair and Senator, as far as grading system on that first, on page 3, line 17, after rules.
Yes, in the future, just let us know.
So the Secretary's establishing rules, but with input from the superintendents, is that
Madam Chair, members of the committee, that is certainly not to the exclusion of anyone else. In my experience in rulemaking process, it's a great opportunity for feedback from all different folks, and so I want to emphasize that, and particularly with Joe's comments as well. It'll be important to hear from all, whether teachers, school board administrators, superintendents, and the public, and that should happen in good rulemaking, and we certainly intend to volunteer that.
Madam Chair and Madam Secretary, I'm glad to hear you say that because I think it's extremely important, not just only to have the superintendents, but I think one big component of this, because the schools that you'll be working with, failing schools, will be primarily, or the principal will be doing a lot of the work. And so I really would encourage you, I know there's a principal association, to get some input also from that group. extremely, extremely important, especially in a district that's so large like APS, where really, once you declare school, and there's a lot of them, you know, as failing or being DNF, then that principal, it really falls on the principal to bring up that school. And I just want to make sure that they are at the table and they provide you with feedback as to what they need as far as support or assistance or that kind of thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Any other comment on the amendment? Any opposition to the amendment? We have a twice amended bill, Senator, and I want to offer, if I could, a friendly verbal amendment. If you look at page 4, line 12, we had talked about, in the meeting that we had, we talked about looking at not just a static graduation rate, but also growth in high school graduation rates, and for some reason that didn't get added, and I'd like to add that verbally. So on page 4, line 12, after the comma, insert growth in high school graduation rates, comma.
Okay, let's get the, Madam Chair, if you would repeat that again, and then I'll write it down here.
Stephen has it. Growth in graduation. It says graduation rates, and then I want also growth in graduation rates.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, we do have that language drafted, so I apologize.
Right. We had discussed it, but somehow it just didn't get in. Agreed.
Okay, Madam Chair, I can consider that a friendly amendment.
I would move that amendment. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Any opposition to that? All right, so we have a bill that's been 3 times amended. Now we'll go back to the bill. And is there anyone else in the audience? Moises, did you want to comment? Or does he go? Does he? Okay, he's not here right now. If he comes back in, we'll let him comment on the bill itself. Questions or comments from committee members regarding the bill? Senator Sanchez.
I can't remember, Madam Chair and Secretary, where it's at, but we had discussed the merit pay, the word merit. Was that removed?
In the amendment, it was removed.
Thank you.
It's on page 6, line 25. Merit has been struck, and it reads non-recurring awards to the faculty and staff as determined by the whole school reform.
Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Garcia.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I really like this bill, especially with the amendments and maybe like the merit, because I feel that this would give parents an opportunity to see where their kids are in those schools, and then they can send them to another school. I have a concern about, well, my main concern was the merit, and that's out. How are you dealing with in this bill, or not dealing with, in terms of collective bargaining? Is that not an issue here?
Madam Chair, members of the committee, the whole school funds are not addressed in the collective bargaining as presented in the bill right now, because you could use the funds for many different things. For example, if the entire staff, which they get to vote on how to use to award funds, decided to purchase new technology for a classroom, or so the funds are outside of the collective bargaining because they may choose to use the monies in various ways.
Okay, so then it's all addressed. Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair.
On that point,
Yes.
Senator, let's go back to the unions, and we have AFT and NEA here, and ask them what their position is on the bill as amended now, for clarification for the committee. Yes.
Sharon Morgan, President of NEA New Mexico. So we do appreciate the Secretary reaching out to us and talking with us about some of our concerns. Merit pay was certainly one. We do feel much more comfortable and can support this bill right now. We do believe that collective bargaining can still set a framework for discussions around how schools would use that money, and we believe that's still important and would like to see that back in, but we can support this bill as it is right now. I would like to mention one question I have, though, because one of my concerns on Monday was around special ed students and English language learners. And so on page 2, line 14, when we talk about remaining in beginning step or nearing proficient performance, but improving a number of scale score points as specified in rule, would that address the concern around special needs students making progress and how we would gauge their progress as well as our English language learners?
Madam Chair, members of the committee, based on current New Mexico accountability system, to the degree that special needs students and ELL students are included in our current testing system, it would absolutely, in an alternative assessments, would, if those are appropriate, would also be included.
Thank you, Sharon. Andy?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the committee, Andy Lotrick with the Federation of Teachers. One of the issues that we still have in mind is going to be in the Public Employee Bargaining Act. There's a provision that says a mandatory subject of bargaining shall be the impact of instructional and professional decisions by the district. So to remove this